family with another excellent interview. I am so fortunate because of Boomer Times to have the quality of people in all areas of interest that we work with, and one of whom is Roberta HLADEK, and she really is a co-founder of something called aimprogram.com. And you know, Roberta, you know I have been a loyal, I guess, member of this and an associate of yours and your wonderful partner who's now doing something out in the sky somewhere, wherever he is with Bill. They're all, I don't know, creating something. And I talk about this so much as an energy factor in our life. And of course, Colleen Haney is one of your wonderful energy therapists here in Boca Raton, but you all have a special way of dealing with things. And of course, I'd like to go over this every time you come on. You never know who hasn't heard you before. So let's go through what your program is in your words, okay?
Sure. Well, the AIM program is, it stands for All-Inclusive Method, which what that means is that you don't have to do anything else. It's all in one spot. We don't have to take a remedy. We used to have to take remedies, homeopathic remedies. We don't have to do any of that anymore. Now it's all electronic. So you know how we're getting so far into the technical aspect of life. This has gone to the technical aspect of life as well. So the AIM program, we use your photograph and we put it on these trays that are vibrating with all of the frequencies that we've come up with. And we've put them in a computerized system, and they're transferring to these trays, which then vibrate with the vibrations of these energies that we've put in. So I know that kind of, everybody goes, a picture, really? Well, your photograph holds your energy. It's kind of like your aura. If we looked at you on an aura, you just have all these molecules or whatever you want to call it. And that's the same thing with us. We have a matrix of these molecules and energy fields that make us up. And what those fields do is when we don't feel good, they alter. And so the balancing energies from the trays balances us and removes those negative vibrations and keeps us in a positive vibration, which helps us to build up our immune system, which we really need in today's world with everything that's going on. It also helps us on the emotional level and on the spiritual level. So it kind of works on all different levels, and we really don't have to do anything but have our photograph on there. So you can still continue to do any medical therapies that you do. So we don't ask you to stop doing any of that. We don't ask you to stop your spiritual practice. We don't want you to join in. We're not a cult. We're not anything like that. So you just go on about your day, because our bodies inside us, we know on another level what's right and what's wrong with us physically. And so we're trying to match up your vibration with the vibrations in the computer, and that helps you to overcome this and live what we call our best life, right? We're all living longer. We want to live the best life we can while we're here on the planet.
So Roberta, that was a very long elevator speech, but a wonderful speech that only you can really explain it that way. I've tried, but it's extraordinary because of what you do. So let's just, well, I wanted to tell you that as you were talking, I was thinking how proud Einstein would have been of you. Because you know, well, because think about that's what really you've been talking about. It's that whole, you know, that whole theory of energy, right?
Yeah, exactly. He was the one that brought this idea or technology, if you want to call it, to the surface. And it would be so cool to meet him, right?
Right.
I think it would be like, that would be on my little bucket list, if you call it, of the eyes.
In your dreams.
You could meet someone that, you know, that has disease, whatever. That would be one of the people I would really like to meet, because I bet you he would be really interesting to talk to. And that would be quite an honor if he would think that what we were doing was really interesting or cool, or whatever you want to say.
Right, but of course, when you read about his biography and the way he went places people didn't know where he was, I mean, he forgot things, so he was a true scientist. You know, brilliant people do that, right? You can't figure them out. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but so you grabbed onto that, and you are unique, and we are at Boomer Time so privileged to bring this to people because we like things that are extraordinary, eccentric, and
Hmm.
people who believe can really be helped. And I think maybe it's a good time for us because what I wanted to say, if you'd like to get on their website, which will tell all of this, it's aimprogram.com, correct?
That's correct.
Aimprogram.com. Tell us, you know, these are stories that you hear from people who are on your program. So
Hmm.
let's just listen to give us about 3 or 4 stories that you are always thrilled with because it makes your day. You work so hard at this and you say, yes. Tell us.
Well, I think our most current one, the latest one, is a young man. He's about 37, I believe. I've never met him. I've only seen his photograph. But when this whole coronavirus thing started, he, you know, as most young people, you don't think it's going to affect you. And he went on a trip and he came back not feeling well. And evidently he really got not feeling well very badly. And he went to the hospital and they put him in the hospital and he was positive for the coronavirus. He was put on a ventilator. And as you know, the ventilator, they say a lot of times when you're on a ventilator, you don't always come off the ventilator. He was on the ventilator, I believe, 21 or 27 days.
No.
And his family, his mother and father and aunt and uncle are all on the program. And he was going to be going on the program, but they didn't get the information in time before all this. So they put him on their family plan and got him on the program. Within 24 hours, approximately, he came to and started reacting to the nurse's commands, which is really unusual. So if we fast forward to a little while, a couple of weeks, he is now doing well. He's, I believe, back at work. You know, it took him a little while to get his strength back, lost some weight and that kind of thing, but he's doing really, really well. So that's like he just makes my heart sing because I just think, okay, you know, because every day I think about things that are going on and, you know, that kind of thing. But, and I try not to forget what it is that I do every day. And every morning when I come in, I think of all the people that are doing fabulous because of this help. I mean, there's other aspects.
Me. Anita and her dog's doing well. Okay, you keep going.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, myself included, you know, I look back on when I first met Stephen back in 1987, fast forward to today. I mean, I have noticed so many changes in myself, and I see it just in my staff here in the office. I see them change and they don't even realize it, but I do. And I think they realize it when they look at each other, if they really thought about it. But I see changes in my other half. He is like, he's just done so well. He's just so confident, and I've seen a change in that. And he's very strong and that kind of thing. So you know, it really makes me happy. And I see this 37-year-old guy, and he's now doing well. And he was almost, you know, gonna die.
I'm going to repeat that story, as a matter of fact. I really got it. Now, I made some notes. I am going to repeat that. Thank you for sharing that. But there have been so many other things. Go ahead.
We also have a horse. We have a horse named Winnie. And Winnie is on our website. She's our feature testimonial. And Winnie is just, she's an amazing, amazing horse. She has had a lot of issues. One of her issues was cancer. She had cancerous growth, I believe, and they didn't know quite what to do with her. And they raised money to get her dealt with by the doctor. And the vet did a laser surgery on her, and she's doing fabulous now. And Winnie, you can see her up on our website. She's a draft horse, and she's just an amazing girl. She's just so cute. And they said now she's just happy, and she's out in the pasture cruising around. People are riding her, and she's happy. So.
And I think a good point is when you join and you have a family plan, you get to put your animals on. You get to put, even if you have a fish you love, and it's just because it's all energy. I don't care if it's the smallest little, we have iguanas running all over the park near my apartment, but it's anything. Everything is energy, as you know. So that's why when my husband died, he's not here, but I know he's somewhere. Every time I see yellow butterflies, I said, maybe he's there, but he's somewhere. I just don't know where the energy went with him.
Exactly. And they're, sometimes you feel their energy. It's kind of a strange, not in a bad way, but in a good way, but you feel it. And it's hard to explain to someone who isn't feeling it. So definitely. I feel Stephen around me every once in a while, especially when I'm trying to find something. I'm like, oh, I know it's here, and I'm working really hard testing something to get to the bottom of an issue. And then all of a sudden a light bulb goes off and I go, oh yeah, there it is. So I know he's there pushing us along and making sure we're doing what we should be doing. And we've also,
Roberta,
go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. I was going to say, so Roberta HLADEK is my wonderful guest, and of course she is the co-founder of aimprogram.com. And Roberta, I want to ask permission. Could I, in our Boomer Times, in our August issue, can I repeat what you told me about this gentleman? There are no names, but can I tell a little bit about your interview and explain it?
Sure. Actually, I can send you.
Yeah, write it up for me. You write it up for me. I'd like to put it in a good example of why I believe in the AIM program. I'll do something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not that we don't cure anything. We aren't doctors. It's right. Just about energy, and it's raising a vibration and helping, like this man, we helped him raise his vibration so he could combat this virus himself. And,
yes.
He had the help, of course, of the doctors and the nurses and everyone that was there working with him. And he probably couldn't have done it without all of the parts. We're just another piece of that puzzle to help raise that vibration and help him to get past it. Same with Winnie. Our horse, and we have a lot of animals that we've helped on the program, dogs, cats. We had a guy, a pig farmer, and we had some of his prized pigs on the program.
Really?
We've had all sorts of, we have a skateboard on the program. We've had, some people have their scripts that they've written. We've had music CDs of musicians that are wanting their CD to really do well. We've had bank accounts, you name it. If you can think of it, we probably have had it on the program. And a lot of homes.
People don't think of like that, but you're right. You pick up a pen. It's not really a pen. It's really energy. It's in the form of a pen, right?
Exactly. And that's us. We're just in the form of this body, but we're all little energy particles. And from time to time, whether we're having a good day, a bad day, whatever it happens to be, but our energy is shifting and going in that vibration. So if we're not having a great day, we're not feeling well, our vibration is going to change a bit. And that's where the AIM program comes in, is it helps us to remove that negative vibration and raise our vibration so that our healing powers within us can really do their job.
So there are people, you and I are not those kind of people because I don't understand it, but there are people who are negative all the time. Would the AIM program help them?
Absolutely. And in fact, there was this man years ago when I was traveling, And I met him after I did my speech, and we were talking and answering questions. And he said, okay, if I go on this program, I don't want to quit smoking. I don't want to quit this,
I
that.
don't want to quit smoking.
And I said, I'm not, you know, if you go on the program, it's up to your higher self to deal with whatever it is that you're going to deal with. I'm not telling you to quit smoking. That's your thing, even though it's not a good thing for you. And it was really funny. About 3 months later, I got an email from him, and he said, I can't believe it. I quit smoking. And I said, well, it wasn't me. I didn't do it, you know, and he was really funny. But he changed totally. When I spoke to him on the phone, his energy was totally, well, it wasn't totally different, but it was moving in a positive direction. He was less negative, but he was just kind of a really stern, one of those stern kind of people that you meet, and they're just like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm doing it my way, blah, 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 you know? And that's the way it was. It was so cute, because when I got that, I chuckled to myself, and I thought,
Right.
hey.
Well, and so let's talk about ages. That really, the thing you've been doing with children, which has really been, for me, so amazing and so important. Talk about why children are helped and what their problems are.
Oh, we have so many children and adults. We have an autism program, and these folks are just incredibly special. And I think they're just super, super smart, and they just haven't been able to express it. And the AIM program has helped these people so much, and it's free to the participant. And then we also, if you bring on, say, your child, or if you're a caretaker for someone, an adult, if you come on the program with them, we give you a 50% discount if you both come on together. So, because we really feel that a parent or a caretaker should really understand what the person's going through, and they can help them a lot. The only thing that we require on the autism program is a quarterly report, and that's to check and see if I'm doing my job correctly. And that's if I can find frequencies that maybe will help them. If there's something that's not on the program that we can find in them to help us all that are on the AIM program, it would be great. And we have a really great story on that, because one of our autism folks, their mother called and said she wanted him tested because there was something wasn't right. He was acting out, and these different things were happening. She wasn't sure why. It was like all of a sudden. So when we tested them, and this goes back a few years ago, we found a new frequency that wasn't on the AIM program, and we added it. Well, it was really funny, because a lot of people think, well, that's a frequency just for someone with autism. Not true. Those frequencies help us all. We all of a sudden got a couple of calls from facilitators saying some of their participants' blood pressure was going down, and they had normally had really high blood pressure. So it was something that was affecting other parts in other people. But that's how those frequencies work, is it might be in this particular child, it was in his brain making him act out and be angry, whereas in someone else, it was in their heart or blood, whatever, to bring their pressure down. So it works in various ways everywhere.
So your organization, though, how old is your organization?
Let's see, the AIM program, we're in business 22 years, I believe. Mm-hmm. It'll be 22 years this year.
Right, right. And the book, the way I first met you, of course, was through the wonderful book that you and Richard did, and you and Stephen, and what is the other gentleman's name again? Evan. That you all wrote, and that was the most amazing book to me, and that's when we kind of came together. And I am an energy believer anyway. I've taken the mind control courses and all, but it was so nice because yours is different. You know, with a computer, that's something that you actually can measure, which most of this energy, most energy healers and all, they don't have a system to measure. And that's what makes yours so special.
Yeah, definitely. And we've just increased we've made some changes in the AIM program about 3 weeks ago, I guess. And we think, from my measurement, I think it's going to increase our healing capacity about 85%.
No way. And
So
how
we're
did you
really
discover
excited.
it?
And I have a participant that contacted me. She's an old friend of mine, and she's in her 80s. I think she's 80. I'm not sure. I'm right around there. She'll probably kill me. But she was telling me that she's sharper than she's ever been. And she noticed a shift about a week and a half ago.
Is that right? From what you discovered. And so when you go to sleep at night, you never know. Now, do you dream about these things, or do you do it while you're awake in the daytime, or what?
Well, sometimes I'll have an idea when I'm sleeping. I'll get an idea about something, or I'll think about someone that I've been working on, and I'll go, gosh, I need to test to them for that. And when I wake up in the morning, I try and write it all down, so when I come in, I can
Sure.
do that. And then there's sometimes during the day when someone will come across my desk, or I'll think of a participant, or someone that I know, and I'll think, they've been having this issue. I wonder if it's this. And then I'll go take a look. And sometimes I find frequencies that haven't been in the database. And that's how I increase the volume of frequencies that we have in the databases, by checking participants.
So, Roberta, do you do this alone? And have you been teaching some of your staff how to do this? I mean, it's, this is like a successor question that I've been asked all the time about myself. So what is it? I know that you and Stephen work together, but when Stephen, of course, passed on, you were there. But how is it for you now? Because it's so important. This should go on for 50, 100 years.
Yeah, I'm looking for people that I can have help me, and that can carry the torch should I not be here to do that. So very important. I have a couple of people that I've been working with. So it takes some time, and you have to get use a certain part of your brain, because you don't want to, when you go into testing, look at what their question is or what their challenge is and think that, oh, it's this. You got to block that all out of your mind, and you have to go in thinking you know nothing and just reading them. So that's a part of the brain you have to kind of turn off, and so that you just go in not thinking about anything. So it's hard to find those people.
I am sure it is hard to find them, but you have created something that's, I always call it magical, but it isn't. It's very scientific, and even though I know that it's not medical, it's the church that really, that in a sense that you all are established with, but this energy is, I think more people now are coming to believe in it than ever before. If you ask astronauts about it, I'm sure, they've been involved with quantum theories and all. I know a lot of people believe this, but not the common person. This has been hidden in a sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when we talk about energetic balancing, they look at me and they go, what? Right. When you say aura, that seems to be something they can grasp onto, and it kind of is a more visual thing to them. But sometimes it's a little hard for the average person to believe in it. But I think now we've had so many movies and things come out that it's becoming more mainstream, I guess what I would say, and since we started, definitely. So it's coming around. People are starting to understand energy, and you hear the word more than you used to, too.
Exactly. Well, for people who thought a lot of Einstein, and those usually are probably people who are scientists, and other than, maybe, I don't know if even school kids learn about him, but he was extraordinary. Was there anybody else like Einstein, or was he one in a zillion?
He was pretty special, but I think there's a few others, and their names escape me right at this moment. I know of, but
there are some people, there are some scientists that you think have that same ability.
I think so. I think they're out there, and I think our generation, and generations coming up, there's going to be, there's always somebody that takes it to the next level, right?
Yeah. So I guess these are people who are scientists in physics and all those arts of where people, they're in laboratories and no one really knows much about them. But so do you do this in conferences, or you're pretty much glued to where you are and people find you? Do you go out and talk with people?
I have, well, of course now we can't, but
No, but
haven't in a while. But we do our conference calls every quarter, and we have those up so that people can join in to the call and can ask questions and hear us speak on different subjects. I've been doing that, and I'm going to try and get us doing Zoom calls so that we get more people on and they can see us and connect with us a little bit that way instead of just by photograph. So you kind of started me on this. So
well, let me just say, yeah. Good. Well, I've had other people started me, and we have 2 minutes left, but let me just say that Dan has become an expert. He's our producer director, and he's so kind and loving, and you need some help, talk to him because he'll direct you, he'll help you. He's really gotten this down. See, he's there. You don't know that. He's like an energy force there. He doesn't show his face, but he's there watching over in case something would happen. He would get us back on. And I know that he'll certainly tell you, once you understand it, it's simple, and he's got this thing mastered. But it's a wonderful thing for you to do because you're a great personality. You show well, you speak well. You're a natural, and you should be doing this with any of the patients, and not patients, we don't call them patients, any of your clients who, or members. What do you call them, members?
We call them participants.
Participants, okay. Well, that's great. Well, okay, well, I'm going to say goodbye because what happens in 2 minutes just shuts down, and then Dan will stay on this for a minute, even though we'll be off, but of course, we will send this to you, and if you put this on your website, I think people will really appreciate it, and definitely you'll want to do the Zoom with all these people. Some may not want to come on, but a lot will, I think.
I think so too. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's great. I feel so privileged to know you and Colleen, and this has made, I know, even though I don't see it, I mean, I know it, but I don't see all of a sudden this flash out there that says, I'm your energy. No, I know that's not true. I mean, I have taken courses where when you go into an alpha state and lower, that all of a sudden I can just walk out my window and fly away, because your brain lets you do a lot of things. And I'm sure that's an energy component but unless you keep it going, practice it, it leaves you. You have to keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. And aimprogram.com. Remember, people, it's not expensive. It's so well worth it. You want to find out all about it, get on the internet and you'll learn about it, and then you can talk to either Roberta or one of her associates about it. So thank you again.
Thank you, Nita.
You're going to send me a little article to put in an August issue about that young man, okay? Okay,
absolutely.
Great. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.